Guys, this is not the ideal driving position. This is not what peak performance looks like, okay? So what you're gonna do before you even go for your first drive is you're gonna get your seating position right. I'm gonna give you cheat codes to make sure that happens. The very first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get your seat as low as it will go. This seat is all the way down. The reason you do that is because for spirited driving, you wanna be as low in the car as possible. You're gonna set your chair all the way back and you're gonna get it to the point where you can depress the clutch and your leg still has a bit of bend in it. This is too far for me. That's probably perfect. I've got a little bend in my leg. I can engage and disengage the clutch and I'm nice and comfortable. So now we're as low as we can go and we've got our seat to the correct distance, right? The reason we do our seat first is because everything else can be adjusted, right? But the seat and its relation to the clutch are finite. You have to get the seat in the right position before you can do everything else. The next thing we're gonna set up is our backrest, right? What you want is you wanna have a commanding driving position. So you wanna be pretty upright. If you're super leant back, this might be necessary for some of you that are really tall and really can't get the seat low enough. But if you're really leant back, you're gonna be too far from the steering wheel. You're not gonna have a good view. This pillar's gonna block you. It's gonna be awkward. So what you wanna do is you wanna set yourself to a nice commanding upright position. Now I've got nice support on my back. I'm pretty upright. And now I can set up my steering wheel. The way you wanna do that is you wanna get the steering wheel as close to your chest as possible without it being overbearing. So now, in most cars, the steering wheel will not go far enough. So generally, you bring it all the way out, as far as it will go, right? That's all the way in, that's all the way out. The height is personal preference, but you want to have it angled towards your chest as much as possible. So if that's all the way down and that's all the way up, I think about there is perfect for me. Now, as long as you can see the gauges and it doesn't cover any of the gauges, you're pretty much set to go. Let's recap. I've set my seat as low as it will go. I've set the distance to the pedals. I've set the backrest. I've set the steering wheel. Now the only thing that's really left to do is set my mirrors, because once I've moved all of this around, I'll need to reset all the mirrors. Now you're in pretty much the perfect spirited driving position. Those are the steps. That is the cheat codes. That is the order you should do them in to make sure they're correct. Now, if you are not average height, this might be a little bit awkward for you. You might find you can't get close enough to the pedals and the steering wheel far enough. Or you might find if you're really tall, your seat's really far back and then you're stretching to the steering wheel. So once you've got it, once you followed the guide and you've got it to an acceptable position, then you can tweak it for your own body and your own preferences, right? Some people like to be really upright in the seat. Some people like a slightly more reclined position. I'm more towards that way, but you want to keep it within the bounds of what I said. The general philosophy is the same.